Skylar. Welcome to Day Davis.
Hey guys, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm Kayla from Day Davis, and today we're going to be deep cleaning my home. Some of the areas that we're going to be cleaning today are not necessarily my favorite, and in all actuality, I don't think they're anybody's favorite, but they're necessary for a clean home. And these areas would be behind the stove, the window sills, the baseboards, stairwell, ceiling fans, and AC vents. To help with that, we're going to be using my Dyson V6, which is my cordless vacuum cleaner, and some of these accessories to make it go a little bit faster. Microfiber cloth. Also, I was asked about why I use microfiber cloths, and to be honest, I just prefer them because they usually pick up a lot more dust, lint, and particles versus a regular cloth that sometimes like breaks up and leaves pieces on the counter. We're also going to be using a pillowcase, and out of my caddy, the only thing I'm going to use today is my Method all-purpose cleaner and some gloves. Definitely some gloves. Also, before we get started cleaning, I just want to mention how yesterday the family and I and some friends, we went out to the beach and we had so much fun. We had a really good time out there. When we came back home, we tracked sand everywhere and we really wanted to continue the party. So instead of cleaning up when we got home, we took a shower, got dressed, and headed back out for some more fun at some friend's house. We kind of got home really late, so I didn't feel like cleaning it up. So when I woke up this morning, there was sand everywhere and it still needed to be cleaned. So we're going to tackle that as well in today's video. Okay, so these are the stairwells that we're going to be cleaning, and anybody who has stairs, especially white stairs, you guys know that dust and lint can get trapped here in between the spindles. Ours isn't too bad, but it's still nasty and dusty, as you can see. And we're gonna go ahead and get that cleaned up. My husband, I think, actually did it a few weeks ago, so that's why it's not that bad, but it's still bad. In just a matter of weeks, that's what happened. And then right over here, my husband moved our stand up a little bit so that we can get back here and kind of vacuum up back there to get all the dust and lint out of there. Over here, we're gonna dust the blinds because they're really dirty too. Dust those and get back here on this windowsill. This is really embarrassing. I was like, we haven't cleaned this in a while, so we really got to get that taken care of. We're going to do that today as well. In the kitchen, I'm going to have my husband help me, but we're going to move this stove out of the way. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff back here. It's just hard to get to, and especially when you don't see it, you can easily forget about it. I am nervous to see what is going on back here. So as I'm walking through my home, I notice more and more things that we need to touch up, such as these pendant lights right here. As you can see, they're pretty dusty. These are glass pendant lights, so usually a little bit of Windex does a really good job cleaning that up. And over here on the ceiling fan, my husband is actually going to do this. We have a really cool pillowcase method that we found here on YouTube that works really well and effective. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, definitely stay tuned because it's really neat and it's quick. I love it. All right, and then upstairs, we're going to be tackling our vents, our AC vents. We're gonna clean that. We have this really nice method that we've seen also, which is uses a butter knife and a microfiber cloth. So if you haven't seen that before and you're really looking for quick ways to clean, especially areas that you really don't clean often or like to clean, this one works really well.
All right, so this is my husband, Freddie, for those of you that are new to the channel, and he's going to demonstrate the pillowcase method. This ceiling fan is pretty dusty. Like I said, this isn't one of the areas that we clean often, and because you don't really see it, it's very easy to forget. But this pillowcase method is really quick and simple and easy. So basically, just take the pillowcase, slide it over each of the blades, and all the dust that's on there is gonna get trapped inside the pillowcase. Literally that simple. I love this method because not only does it clean your blades, but it also keeps all that dust from flying in the air and all over your stuff. And I wear contacts, so I really can't stand for dust to be in the air, and I hate dusting because it gets in my eyes and it irritates me. But with this pillowcase method, it really does work and it's effective. Now, you can be like my husband and go over it with the pillowcase if you want, but usually with 2 wipes of the blades, it's pretty clean, and when you're done, you just take the pillowcase and dump it in the laundry. Working on my stairwell, I like to use a microfiber cloth, and I like to use it dry and wipe away all the dust. And then after I wiped all the dust with the dry cloth, I'll go back over it with a little bit of Method and just kind of spray down my cloth and wipe it down again. I don't necessarily think that you have to do it this way, but I feel like when I go over it again with the Method, it almost acts like a barrier, so it keeps the dust away longer. So the next time when I clean up, it won't hopefully be too bad. But Freddie, he was pretty good at keeping up with this area because it's downstairs. It's very noticeable, especially when you have company and your stairwell is like your focal point. So he does a really good job of keeping this area pretty well kept, but every now and then it just needs to be wiped down pretty good. The only time that I would actually do something like this, other than like a monthly cleaning type thing, would be when my grandparents come over. Oh my gosh, that's when I do all my dusting, when I know my grandparents are coming, because my grandmother is the kind that can literally like smell the dust in your house. Like she'll walk in and be like, Kayla, when's the last time you dusted in here? And I'm like, oh my God. So ever since that happened, I'm like really good at like keeping that area clean, especially when I know that they're coming. But Freddie is gonna go ahead and finish up this side of the stairwell. He even starts cleaning the spindles. He noticed that, and he's the one to notice, our daughter Skylar had fingerprints all over it. I think she had like gummies or something that day because it was really sticky right there. So he just went ahead and wiped that up and cleaned it down. This is our AC vent. This vent gets so dirty. I just don't understand. We really do keep this up on a norm, I should say, because every time we change out our filters, my husband cleans this, but every time he cleans it, it's always super dirty. Like it's like he never cleaned it. So definitely keep up with this. A good reminder would be to change it when you change your vents. When you change your filters. For this, we're using the butter knife method. Basically, you take a butter knife and you wipe a microfiber cloth around it, and then you kind of just go in between each blade and it wipes up really good. Now we do it with the dry cloth, and then we go over it with a little bit of Method on the microfiber cloth. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you use a paper napkin because you're using a butter knife. The napkin will rip. So I would definitely recommend you use a cloth. Microfiber preferred because it traps the lint and the dust. But any cloth, if you don't have a microfiber cloth, will suffice. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up here and do the baseboards. Freddie just finished wiping down the, I don't know if you would call that a banister or not, but it's like the half wall. He just wiped that down really quick. All right, back here behind this entertainment stand. Wow. I would say that I do a good job normally cleaning up in that area because I usually just take the broom and go under the stand, but sometimes there's stinks trapped all the way in the back, like behind the cords and stuff. And I don't really want to put my Dyson back there because I don't want to suck up the cords. When I tell you it has a powerful pull, it does. So I tend to use my broom back there just to sweep everything up, and then I'll suck it up with the Dyson in the end. So I kind of just sweep it into a pile. Okay, so for my blinds, I want to show you this really cool piece. This accessory is called a soft duster brush. This comes with the Dyson V6, so when you buy it, it comes with all the pieces. You don't have to buy them separately. This one came included, and it works really well on my blinds because not only do the soft bristles brush away the dust, but it's also sucking up the dust into the vacuum cleaner, so there's no dust and particles or lint or anything flying into the air. I don't have to worry about anything getting into my contacts. So I really like this, and on top of it, if you have allergies, you won't be sneezing as much because all the dust is going into the vacuum cleaner. So you're welcome. I definitely recommend getting this vacuum cleaner. It is a little bit pricey, but I promise you it is worth it. You can do so much with it. This was my first time using it on the blinds, and I absolutely love it. You can go in the vertical direction like Freddie does, or you can use it horizontally like I do. Now for the window seal, I wouldn't necessarily recommend using the duster. It does work, but because of the bristles, I kind of feel like it just kind of like brushes the dirt to the side, and then you kind of have to lift it up and go over it to get it up. But Freddie didn't believe that this was really sucking as well as it did, so he used it on the windowsill just to see how powerful the suction was, and it was very powerful. The piece that he's switching to, that's the piece that you're actually supposed to use on the windowsill. This one is angled so you can get into the corners very well, and it doesn't really push anything away. It sucks everything up, and I would definitely recommend you use this. After using my Dyson on my windowsill, I kind of like to go over it with a little bit of method. You know, I think that works as like a barrier, or at least I feel like that works as a barrier to keep away lint and dust in the future. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to go over it. After you vacuum it up with the Dyson, it pretty much gets everything out. I just like to go over it. And plus, I like the smell. When you spray the method on things, the smell lingers and it smells so great. Right now I'm just sweeping up behind my couch. Normally I would use my Dyson back here, but for video purposes, I just wanted you guys to kind of see like what all was back there, because if I used the Dyson, you wouldn't be able to see it. It'd just get all sucked up. So I tried to sweep it to show you. By the way, the method all-purpose cleaner, the scent that I'm using this time is the Apple Orchid. I really love that scent for the granite, so I decided to switch over and use it for my Apple Orchid. But you guys know I'm a big fan of the grapefruit. But yeah, this time around I decided to switch everything to Apple Orchid, so my house all smells the same. It's the same smell. Freddie's cleaning off the pendant lights. They were pretty dusty, and anytime we have anything with dust, like I said, we like to go over it with a dry cloth, and then we'll spray it down with either Windex or method, depending on what we're doing to clean it. This was kind of before and after to show you what it looked like and how dusty it was. And to be honest, it kind of looked like there were fingerprints on there, which is shocking because these are pendant lights and they're really high up. So I'm like, whose fingerprints are these? Who's climbing up here and touching my lights? For the moment we've all been waiting for. What's behind my stove? Ew, ew, ew. It was so disgusting back there. I cannot believe how many toys were back there. Like, did my kids just take all their toys when I said to clean up and throw them under the stove? Just so you guys know, all of those went in the trash because obviously they're not taking care of those toys. So those toys did not make it back to the bedroom. After sweeping out from behind my stove, I went ahead and sprayed some 7th generation tile cleaner and then just went over it with the steam mop because there was like some sticky residue and stuff like that back there. So I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I got that up. And then also in the last clip you saw that I wiped down the stove. That's a pretty good time to do that. When you go ahead and pull your stove out, just go ahead and wipe it down because it just makes it easier. And now you know 100% that it's clean on the outside and also from the back. Alright, so now that we're done with the deep cleaning of my home, I'm just going to go back over and do kind of like my basic cleaning, which is just spraying down my granite countertops. I use the Method Granite Cleaner and the Apple Orchid scent. That smell, honestly, I know I'm obsessed with it, but it does smell like new home smell. Like if you ever go into a model home, this is what the homes smell like in the kitchen. I promise you, or at least in our area. And so I like to go over it and just kind of give my house like a really fresh scent. It also gives the granite a nice shine, and it works on marble as well because this is a marble table that my dad gave me, and it does the same there too. It gives it a really nice shine. I've never sealed this table. I don't know if you seal marble, but I haven't, and it's still fine with the Method Granite Cleaner. It works well. Alright, so just going over everything. Remember I told you there was sand in the house? So using this Dyson, it helps to get the sand out of my carpet because sweeping will not do the trick. So I'm just going over all the areas with my Dyson. It has a piece that you can use on the carpet, and then once you detach that piece, you're going to use the, I say it's microfiber. It feels like velvet. I'm not sure what that is, but it feels like velvet. It's really soft, and this is the piece that you want to use on your tile. The velvet microfiber strips, whatever they are, I don't know, it's like they cause friction or something, but they gather up all the lint, all the dust, all the pieces, everything that's on your floor. It gathers it up, and when I tell you, let's say you don't have time to mop, use this. You won't even need to mop. I mean, unless there's something sticky. But as far as like dust and stuff, which is usually what you try to mop up, this pretty much takes care of it. The Dyson V6 is awesome. It comes with so many pieces. You guys asked for a video on this, so I'm gonna try to sit down and take a moment to give you a video on the pieces, how I use them, and why I recommend this product so much. But I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you so much for all of your support. If this is your first time here, welcome to my home. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much.